It's John Hood with Pro Modern Construction. Just making up an updated video of these footers that we poured yesterday. It's kind of what they look like. It's the garage side, and had to put a step in there right where that dirt is. That goes back into the house, and we'll be putting a lintel across into the basement there. And down here, we've had to dig these things pretty deep to get to solid ground. We had a lot of topsoil here. It's kind of what this one looks like. We had to have a pretty tall step, so the block will just lower back down to the next footer there. And then we'll have a lintel run right through there back to the main part of the house. So that's kind of what the garage looks like. And come down here, show you this lower part. We're building the dirt up around here to try to level the front of the house out so it's not sticking way out of the ground and all you see is the top level. That's why a lot of this dirt is raised up near the front. So when you come down here, this part will all be open. We're gonna put a daylighted wall out here. That way we have 2 garage doors that go in here. And then we have just a regular steel exterior door going in out here. And that'll be over here on this side. So these are what the footers look like down here. We had to step these down. There was a lot of topsoil on this end. And then down here, these about go 4 feet in the ground. So we have to just raise the block out of the ground. We had to do that to get to solid ground. All these little orange marks you see on the ground, that's where all of our grade stakes were. So once you put concrete in there, you can't find them. So that's the easy way of finding them once you start putting concrete in. So we have a bulkhead here, and it steps back up, and it kind of rolls around here, and this is where we start putting rebar in the footer here. So all this rebar right here, all this ground here, it's pretty much it's close to being level with the ground. It's just a little ways in the ground because you have to be 12 inches in the ground and then 8 inches a footer. So all this rebar here will be tied up through the block. So we'll put more rebar tied onto it, and that'll strengthen our walls once we fill them with concrete. So we'll have to pump the walls, or I use a conveyor truck sometimes to fill the walls up with too, all around the block. So all this rebar here that's sticking up, that's gonna go up through the block. So here's the part where there's gonna be a lintel go back into the garage. So we'll dig that dirt down and put a lintel in there, and then that'll tie this part of the house into the garage. So these walls, they're gonna raise up about 10 feet. So the back side of that ground, that's about 10 feet to the bottom of that footer. So it'll raise out about 10 feet, 8 inches, so that we can put some gravel in here and some concrete, because this is a complete unfinished basement. So all these footers all the way through here, we've got the rebar that's all on these footers here too. And we try to slick them down a little bit, the footers, that way it makes it a little easier for the masons when they come in here and lay their block. It just makes it just a nicer finish for laying their block on the footer there. So that's kind of how this looks like. And this right in here, that's the high part. That's where the 10-foot drop is, all the way down here to this footer. So we'll bring the block a little bit higher than that ground level up there, probably about a foot. And then that way we can channel the water back around. See this grade level, it kind of falls back down towards that point. So the front side, we'll probably keep it around 6.5, 7 feet, and there'll be a few stairs going into the house. But by leveling all this ground out near the front, that will raise it to make it look much nicer. So on the front side of the house. But that's kind of how we put these footers in here. And right in here is where our front door is going to be. So it's a little, kind of a little bump in that we done, as you can see. And this right here will be where the front door entrance is. So, and then this over here is a bay. So that's kind of how we get it cut out for a bay window. But once the block starts to go up, you'll have a much better idea on how this looks on this finished basement. So anyway, this is John Hood with Pro Modern Construction. Thanks for watching.